Right, very good afternoon to you all. I hope you're good. The second video of today, the 2nd of January 2024. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is the video where we talk about big changes on the way. Yep, we're going to go from this exceptionally mild and very stormy period to something a little bit more seasonal. And we're going to see how that change takes place. As I've mentioned, it is stormy out there at the moment. We've got Storm Hank rushing across the country at the moment. We've got quite an active jet stream. It's very mild though at the moment. Look at that, 14 degrees across London City Airport, 13 at Northolt, and many stations, 13 degrees, exceptionally mild. It's windy as well. Those winds are now really ramping up. 71 miles an hour at Mumbles Head, 68 miles an hour at St Catherine's Point, but many stations across the south now are recording gusts between 50 and 60 miles an hour. And that amber warning has been adjusted in the last hour. It's been sort of centered a little bit further south. So places like London are in that warning area now. Anyway, we've come to talk about the changes in the weather. We're going to turn from what feels like eternal autumn to something quite wintry over the course of the next few days, or should I say week. At the moment, we'll take a look at this anomaly chart, and look at that. Temperatures well above average across southern parts of the UK, many parts of Europe, and down towards southeast Europe, down towards the Balkans and those sorts of areas. But what is easy to forget is what is going on up here to the northeast. We've been in an incredibly prolonged period of exceptional cold in Scandinavia, probably since the end of November, and that cold is just getting more and more intense. So these are your anomalies at the moment. So these are relative to the normal. So look, you're talking minus 20, 25, talking 20 degrees lower than what could be expected at this time of year. Now it's sub-zero there at this time of year. So if we just actually look at the temperatures at ground level, some of these temperatures are insane. Look at that, minus 30, minus 31, minus 32 over parts of northeast Sweden and parts of Finland and parts of Russia as well. Look at that, minus 34, minus 35. Now, this isn't unusual. I know, it is a winter pattern. It is Siberia, it is Russia, it is Scandinavia, as you say. And generally, that is the way things stay in most winters, where you've got a jet stream that's obviously firing away across the Atlantic. It's going to be repelling all that cold air, but changes will be afoot. You've got this area of low pressure, which is controlling things at the moment, keeping all the warmth and the mild air to the south of the UK. But look what happens in a week's time. That low pressure that we've got there over the UK suddenly switches to high pressure. And the only way you're going to obviously unlock that cold, which is sitting over Scandinavia, is by getting that high pressure system in place over Scandinavia. And look what it does to the jet stream. This is a week from today, or should I say, this is Monday the 8th. All of a sudden, that extremely cold air, which has been sitting over Scandinavia towards Russia, Siberia, is on a collision course for the UK. So temperatures will get progressively colder. How much colder? Well, we'll come on and have a look at that. So we'll firstly now take a look at those anomalies. So at the moment, we can see those deep purples are sitting over sort of many parts of Scandinavia. But just look how this moves in the next few days. These really cold anomalies start to march westward. So this is today. Just notice for the first couple of days, things don't really change too much. Colder air just exiting sort of the Norway coast, just starting to move across the North Sea. But yeah, England and Wales are still very mild. But with time, this is by Thursday, things start to cool down. We've lost the oranges, and that colder air across the North Sea is just starting to advance its journey westward. So by Friday, you've got an area of low pressure just setting itself up now over towards like the Low Countries. And that's also acting as a bit of a conveyor belt to usher in that very cold anomaly from the east. So by Saturday, there you go, those easterly breezes are starting to feed into the UK. And then by Sunday, look at that, we've suddenly turned blue. Temperatures widely across the UK, 3, 4, 5 degrees below normal, and then we just rush it through to next Monday. There's that area of high pressure, and suddenly all those deep blue anomalies that were over Scandinavia today are flooded across Europe and are going to be moving into the UK. Right, how is that going to affect our temperatures? So let's have a little look at the 2 metre temperatures and see how that affects London in the next few days. And it's a downward spiral, isn't it? And it's quite a marked cooling trend from today. We've naturally seen those temperatures of 13, 14 degrees. We won't be seeing those temperatures for a while, that's for sure. And if we go to Manchester, once again, that cooling trend starts today and is also evident. See how these temperatures, they're getting down towards zero. And what we'll do in a minute, we'll have a little look at those 850 temperatures to see if that cold air above is supportive of something a little bit wintry. Right, so that's the Manchester situation, and this is the Inverness situation. So a cooling trend seen at all the 3 major stations. Right, what we're now going to do is we are going to take a look at the weather pattern that's going to get us to this point next week. Let's just get that, stop that share in there, and we'll start today. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run this through, then we're going to look at those 850s, we're going to look at the ensembles, and we're going to see if there is any support for that air to become cold enough to give snow to parts of England and Wales. So let's have a little look. Well, and Scotland, of course, or should we say the UK? Right, so here's the storm today pushing eastwards across the UK. That sting jet is providing the amber warning at the moment, but that will push out the way by the end of today into the southern North Sea. And then tomorrow we're in a run of showery westerly breezes, quite heavy along the southern and western coasts. Low pressure still in control, so we keep the showery theme going on Thursday. Another little low pressure system zipping through the English Channel threatens the south of England on Thursday. And also notice how these low pressures are starting to move further south as the jet stream starts to move south. By the time we reach Friday, that low pressure, which is over towards the northwest of Scotland, kind of acting as the parent low, will tend to fill. It will tend to migrate south, and then notice what will happen. High pressure starts to move in from the north and from the east, and we start to usher in those easterly breezes. Look at that. There they come from the North Sea, and this is on Saturday. You're starting to pick up quite a strong cold northeasterly feed across particularly England, southeast England at the moment. It's looking like, but yeah, with time that upper air should be becoming cooler, and you will see that certainly with regard to the chart that's being played out by the ECM, there is the possibility, there you go, that by Monday that air will be cold enough to be supporting snow. So I think if we're all looking at this forecast, I think it's a good chance, a good strong signal, certainly from the ECM, that there will be convective sleet or snow showers falling across particularly southeast England next Monday. Keep that date in mind. We'll be following up on these in the next few days, these little snow watches. And if you do like the content, I would suggest you do subscribe. You will then be kept up to date with the updates as I do them. Right, so it's looking as though, yep, the colder air will be coming in. It's looking as though we will be getting some wintriness from this one. But what about those 850s? Shall we take a little look at them? Because if you remember when we were looking at this just before Christmas, we were generally looking for 850s below -6, -7, -8. Is the air going to be cold enough next week, next weekend? Well, there you go. These are the 850s for London. This was the 6 o'clock run this morning from the GFS, and I think there's pretty good support there for some really quite cold upper air to be pushing in around about the sort of the 7th through the 8th to the 9th. So, yeah, looking at that, assuming that there is moisture, assuming that we do get some convection, you've got to say that around about the 8th of January, there is the risk of snow. And if we just take a little look at those snow spikes for London, do we get any? Yeah, there we go. The signal has picked up those snow spikes. So yeah, I think the chase is back on. I think we're going to start doing these forecasts again. Let's go up towards Manchester, because I rather suspect that there will be a signal for snow up there, but I think because you're further north and west, don't think that's going to be quite as strong because London will be relying on its showers from the North Sea. So there's your up 850s at Manchester. Yep, you're below -5. Some of them are getting down below -10. So yet certainly the air aloft is cold enough to support snow if it falls. And there's your signal for some snow flurries. So yet Manchester, there is a risk for you as well. Right, we'll now just go up to Inverness and take a look at your 850 ensembles, and well, yeah, there you go. You're below -5. Not quite as cold as further south, and I think that's probably because you're closer to the high pressure. And if you was to take a look at the snow signals up there, not quite so high in that 7th to 9th period, all due to the fact that you're going to have high pressure sitting over you up there in Scotland. You've had a fair bit of snow over the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, so maybe it is the turn of the south at last. We'll just verify that with another model run. I'm going to use the GFS. So previously we've been looking at the ECM, but the GFS kind of also picks up this cold, showery, northeasterly feed with some convective snow showers. This is Monday the 8th. So yeah, it's certainly looking as though we are in with a shout of something quite wintry developing early next week. And just for fun, these snow depth charts, they're not very accurate, but if we were just to run these through into the early part of next week, just to see if they are picking anything up, there you go. Doesn't often show snow on these charts or accumulated snow, but it is this morning. It's showing a signal for at least some settling snow across many parts of the UK, the Scottish Hills, over towards the Pennines, but down towards the southeast of England as well. So looking as though a big change in the weather is afoot. We lose all this low pressure, high pressure takes control, the easterlies come in at the weekend, and there is the risk, of snow showers developing across southeast England from late Sunday through Monday and possibly Tuesday. We'll keep up to date. We'll keep the momentum going. Have a lovely, excuse me, my throat is giving up on me now. So I'm going to sign off. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a lovely afternoon and ciao for now.